Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay, let's go. Everyone celebrating Kingdom Hearts ending with SACing MAL Eternal 1992. All right, turn that off and hello everyone, welcome to SACing MAL Eternal, the worst show I make. I am Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. What came out in 92? I guess we're gonna find out. Welcome, Maid. How are you doing tonight? You know how it is. Since we beat Kingdom Hearts, we gotta do SACing MAL Eternal, which unfortunately means next week we have to start Digimon. And I guess that's gonna happen. So how are you tonight? Alright, kicking us off with Ucho no Kishi Tekamon Blade. Now, what I will note is that it does seem like less anime came out in 92 and like less came out in 91. I assume it's because the bubble popped and Japan has run out of money. Yu Yu Hakusho, Ranma movie, Shoujo Tsubaki. I did not know that. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get on with that. I guess we'll find out. Takamon Blade takes place in the far future of 2300 AD. On a certain moment, just a certain moment, the Radam attack Earth. A few months after... Classic fucking anime plotline. Okay. After the beginning of the invasion, a Takamon appears, calls himself Blade, and with the help of the Space Knights, Blade starts to fight the Radam. But there are a few things that Blade isn't telling about his past. Okay, then. That sounds bad. That doesn't sound good at all. Moving on. You know, it'll be funny if this whole stream is only like 30 minutes. Mama wa Shogaku 4 Ninsei. Mama is just a 4th grade pupil. That could go real wrong. Okay, elaborate. Natsume Mizuki is a 4th grader whose parents have gone to London. Her aunt Izumi comes to live with her. Izumi is an aspiring manga writer who's trying to get her first big break, so she doesn't have time for a baby that appears out of thin air on Natsume's first night alone. The baby's name is Mirai, and her mother is Natsume, but 15 years older. Okay, alright, that's not nearly as insane as I was worried. About. Somehow Mirai traveled back in time. Now the young Natsume has to raise Mirai while trying to keep her 4th grade life from falling apart and keep Mirai-chan secret from everyone. She has the dubious help of Izumi and some baby care gadgets from the future. This could be interesting if it wasn't 51 fucking episodes long. This person thinks this is the best anime they've ever seen. So, honestly, fuck it. You know what? It does actually sound good. Throw it on the plan to watch list. Alright, we've got Densetsu no Yusha da Garn, which I want to say is just called Garn, because I feel like I've heard of Garn. One day, the Earth was assaulted by space pirates, as that happens all the time. Orbus, he aimed at planet energy, the life energy of the Earth, but none of the other planets, just Earth. Only Earth has planet energy. If several release points where the planet energy concentrated were attacked at once, the Earth would explode. When the first attack was made, Takatsugi Seiji escaped into an old tunnel with his girlfriend. Isn't girlfriend traditionally 2 words? Kosaka Hikaru. Then he received Orin, a token of the leader of the Earth Guardians from the consciousness of the Earth. By the power of Orin, the patrol car was turned into a robot, Dagarn. That just sounds like Super Robo bullshit. Although the main character of this looks kind of like the main character of Bakugan. So, make of that what you will, I suppose. Hana no Mahutsukai Maribel. Maribel, a magical girl who looks like a girl around 5 years old, comes from a human world, from a magical world called Flower Magic World, and helps encourage people. Okay, but you say she looks 5. How old is it? I've only ever seen Girlfriend. Yeah, that's what I mean. They wrote it as 2 words. Isn't it typically written as 1 word? Now, she looks 5 or she is 5? She is actually 500,000 years old. That answers that question. Okay. Well, now we... So she's legal. Okay. Daiso Gen no Chisana Tenshi Bush Baby. Okay. Bush Baby, Little Angel of the Great Plains. When Jackie Rhodes, a British girl living in Kenya with her family, finds a little animal called a Bush Baby, she adopts him, calls him Murphy, and nurses him back to health. Murphy, Jackie, and her family and friends go on many adventures involving wild animals, poachers, and more. But a friend of Jackie's father go on one last adventure. They must cross the dangerous savannah to escape the poachers and corrupt police officers chasing them. Yeah, fuck the police. Along the way, Jackie teaches the now domesticated Murphy to survive in the wild so that before she leaves, she can release it in its natural habitat. They made 40 episodes of this. When it comes to anime that do that when they 9,000 or 14,000 or whatever, typically you can just remove the zeros. That's fair. Honestly, that does work because it's like she's 500,000, but she looks 5. So you know what? You might be correct. Does that work with Evangeline? No, because she's like 400. So. All right, skipping all of this because we all read it. A lot of no O&As. Because the internet wasn't a thing in 92. That's why there's no O&A. Video Girl I have had this recommended to me like 1,000 times, and I don't think I even know what this is about. After crushing rejection, the heartbroken Yota Moteuchi, that's a fucking name, trudges home. On his way, a dimly lit video store catches his eye, and he ends up purchasing a Video Girl tape meant to ease the hearts of lonely men. That poor gentleman. However, when he tries to play it in his broken VCR, a beautiful girl leaps out of his TV and lands on his bed. Calling herself Ai Amano, she looks like a golden opportunity for Yuta to finally experience true love. That is, until her personality, now troubling thanks to the broken VCR, shows through. Despite her flaws, however, Ai wholeheartedly promises she will ensure Yuta finds happiness and true love in his life. Video Girl Ai follows the daily life of a teenage boy in his pursuit of a fulfilling romance with the help of his virtual guardian angel. Yuta sets forth to find the girl of his dreams. I can see why this would be... There is a character named Rolex. Hold up. Alright, I was going to say I can see why this would be recommended to me, but I just need to be clear. This man's name is Rolex. Good old Rolex. What did you think of Video Girl I? You gave it a 7. The ending gets crazy. Okay. Like you have to watch this crazy, or a 3x3 eyes. 3x3 eye. Okay, so we've read this because it came out in 1991. Alright, Dragon Ball Z, Atsumare, Goku World. Dragon Ball Z, Gather Together, Goku's World. I have never heard of this. Borderline Evangelion levels of weirdness. Okay, go on. Dragon Ball Z Atsumare Goku's World is a Terabiko video game. I don't know what that means. In this OVA, Goku and his friends pose questions for viewers about the Dragon Ball series. The Terabiko is an interactive VHS fucking console game system released in Japan by Bandai Namco in 1988. Titles released include a wide variety of known franchises such as Super Mario World, Dragon Ball Z, and many more. Well, that is certainly a thing. Okay. Mabel. Mabel originally came out in 1990, so we don't need to read that. Oh, it says right here. Okay, so I can just, if it looks familiar, I can skip it. Handsome Girl. The source is Them, Anime Review, edited. The description of this anime is just someone's review of the anime. Killing it, Mal. Alright. Higawara Mio is a 14-year-old TV actress who's gotten popular. One day on a set, she meets Kumagai Ichiya, who tells her that her acting stinks. Mio is hurt by his comments, but she finds that she can't get Ichiya out of her mind. It turns out that Ichiya is a promising director who directed a music video for Mio's friend Sawaki Aya, an idol singer. After the success of this music video, Ichiya is asked to direct a movie, and he wants Mio to be the heroine because he feels that she is a handsome girl, like the actresses of old. How will Mio cope with her feelings towards Ichiya? What the fuck does that mean? He goes inside the VCR world and tries to get her back while walking and falling on glass. Huh. It gets wacky. I see. All right. This is Kennel Tokorozawa. Also, ecchi is one of the tags. So, and her just bare ass is in this poster. This is an anime where a girl gets fucked by her dog. I'm like 40% sure. Pet shop owner's daughter, Chika Tokorozawa, spends every waking hour with her dog, Rin Tintin, who repays her love by watching over her while she sleeps, based on the manga in Young Sunday magazine by Maki Otsuba, who is better known in the manga world for Mr. Cinema. So, like, this is a girl who gets fucked by her dog, right? He just wants to have sex with his owner and have fun in other ways. There we go. There we go. I knew it. I was looking at that and I'm like, this is about a girl who gets fucked by her dog. There we go. There we go. Heard the manga is different from the anime and supposedly kind of fucked up. Okay. Babel Nisei OVA Babel 2. Life seems simple for Koichi, a young student, until he learns that he's the reincarnation of an alien protector who crashed into the mantle of responsibility as the defender of Earth. Hate when that happens. Koichi Babel teams up with a trio of superpowered alien companions to battle the dark forces of an evil cult. The war to save humanity takes Babel from the deserts of southern Asia to the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and ultimately to a final showdown with the Master in a hidden base nestled in the Swiss Alps. The action is fast-paced and deadly. The fate of the world rests in the ability of this courageous youth to tame his latent psychic powers and use it to defeat the enemies of mankind. You can't just have a big robot. He's also got to be psychic, because it's the 90s, and that was the thing in the 90s, is everyone had to be psychic. Sequence. This one I think I've heard of. Suffering from crippling memory loss ever since the accident at age of 6, Toshiaki finds a new hope and a new mystery when he is visited by a girl from his own future. High School Jingi. The impulsive Yakuza, Joji, was ordered by his boss to teach at misfit-filled school. He now has to settle a score with a fated rival while falling head over heels for a colleague in process. You can probably think of Kira for that. Oh, yeah, that would make sense, yeah. Anime does love to self-cannibalize. Alright, Shiritsu Tante, Tante, Toki, Shouzo, Trouble Note, Hard and Loose, based on a manga by Tsuchiya Garon, aka Marley Carib, art by Kawaguchi Kaiji, serialized in Action in the 80s. Can we get more on that? It's a detective thriller in which former boxer Shozo is thrown into a web of intrigue when he picks up a ringing phone of room whose occupant he is supposed to be following. Well, that actually sounds kind of cool. Hold up. That sounds cool, actually. This is mainly about a very masculine private detective who likes boxing, women, drinking, betting on ponies, and other things that make a man a real man. But do they finish the story? It's not clear whether they finish it. So I guess I'm gonna have to pass. You know what? I am gonna add it. Fuck it. Hell yeah, I'll watch this impossible to say bullshit. Alright, this is Ruriiro Princess. High school girl Ruri is dragged into a battle over the fate of the Pulsean moon when Princess Layla sends assassins to dispense her. Ruri's lover Toru is wounded protecting her, and Ruri must leave the real world behind to journey to the Pulsean moon to save him, based on the manga and Omanjinai comic by Mito Orihara, who also wrote the theme song. This is Motto King Granzort Bokenhen, which is the sequel to Motto King Granzort, which we read about in 1990, so literally who gives a fuck what this is about? Oh, there was no synopsis in 1990 either. So we'll never know. We'll never know what fucking Granzort is about, I guess. This is Naniwa Yokyoden. Taido Kaimon is the leader of the Kinshu group gangster syndicate in Kansai region. His gang is a cluster of wisecracking madmen eternally running into trouble with the law, probably because you're fucking gangsters. Each other and local girls who give as good as they get. And on the poster, there is, I think, just like a censored tit. So that's fun, I guess. It's censored, so Twitch can't get angry at me for pointing it out. This is Ishi no Mori Shotaro no Rekishi Adventure, a two-part video series in which Dr. Tang, a researcher at the Time Institute, and his faithful Kappa assistant Pasuke travel through time, the first to the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, then to the fourth Battle of Kawana Kajima in 1561. The second installment, they look at the last stand of the Japanese underdog hero Yoshitsune in Hiraizumi 1199, and then, after spending so much time on the Genpei War, suddenly leap several centuries into the future to cover the first time Nobunaga used firearms in battle at Nagashino in 1575, a mixture of live action and anime, described by Japanese sources as a documentary with touch of story, and presumably related in some way to Shotaro Ishinomori's multi-volume manga History of Japan. I mean, it sounds vaguely interesting, but it also sounds like if it sounds like I could find a better documentary, is what I'm saying. One that's a little more focused. Terajima-cho Kidan Ginagashi. 10-year-old Kyoshi watches as a tramp transforms himself into a rich imposter at a stand-up bar in Tamanoi District. Amusing tales from pre-war Tokyo based on the 1968 autobiographical manga Strange Tales of Tarajima, written by Yu Takita for the alternative magazine Garo. On to movies. We have Dragon Ball Z Movie 6. Gekitotsu 100 Oku Power no Senshitachi, or Dragon Ball Z: The Return of Cooler. A mysterious entity known as the Big Getty Star clings into planet New Namek to absorb its energy, putting all Namekians in grave danger. Dende, Earth's new guardian, learns about the prevailing situation in his homeland and quickly requests Goku-san and his friends for help. Upon arrival in New Namek, they discover that the Namekians are being held captive by powerful robots, whose leader turns out to be Cooler. He explains that the advanced technology of the Big Getty Star saved him from what otherwise would have been certain death, alongside his mechanical armory. Cooler proceeds to attack Goku and his friends to get rid of them once and for all. Did they do it? Did they win? Who knows? Doraemon Movie 13, Nobita to Kumo no Okoku. Doraemon the movie, Nobita and the Kingdom of Clouds. During class, Nobita questions the teacher where heaven is located, and when he was being taught about clouds being laughed at, Nobita looks for proof that heavenly place exists in the clouds, but was explained by Doraemon that it cannot exist scientifically. Disappointed, he was eventually helped by Doraemon to create their own kingdom of clouds. Little did they know that there are creatures who've been living on the clouds for a long time. I love the concept that he comes to Doraemon. He's like, Doraemon, I need to find heaven. And Doraemon's like, kid, you fucking dumb. There's no heaven. And the kid's like, no. And Doraemon's like, hang on. We'll make heaven a place on earth. And the kid's like, yay. And then actual heaven is like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? That's delightful. That is delightful. All right. It's Dragon Ball Z. Yes, they did, but Toriyama can't help help himself from bringing characters back, so they didn't really win. Oh, well, also, Return of Cooler's not canon, and Cooler wasn't created by Toriyama anyway, so... So it wasn't... It was more Toei than anything. Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken Tachigare Aban no Shito. Dragon Quest Great Adventure of Dai, Disciple of Aban. The second Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken movie. The story takes place between episodes 18 and 19 of the TV series. I forget how they win in that movie, actually. Alright, what do we got? We've got Sengokushi Dai Ichibu Iyu Tachi no Yaoke. The Yellow Turban Rebellion that initiated the downfall of the ruling Han dynasty at the start of the story. Both Liu Bei, its eventual protagonist, and Cao Cao, its eventual antagonist, are minor players. Liu Bei is striving to find a way to bring order to a chaotic world as he puzzles his way toward the correct course of action. He befriends two powerful warriors, Zhang Fei and Guan Yu. Together they take the oath of the Peach Garden to live and die together as warriors for justice. Meanwhile, Cao Cao is pondering how to fulfill his destiny as a hero in a chaotic world or a villain in a peaceful one. Initially, power seems to belong to the usurping warlord Dong Zhao and his right-hand man, the hero Lu Bu. Dog, if Lu Bu is in on this shit, you all are fucked. But the two soon fall out over a woman, never mind, and the resulting power vacuum gives Cao Cao his chance. Even though Lu Bu is the stronger warrior, Cao Cao has the devil's own luck on the battlefield. Liu Bei tries to stick to the right course, but he is just a minor piece on the giant chessboard of China's warring states. War rages up and down the country with inclusive result, thus setting the stage for the next two movies in the series. Is this an adaptation of War of the Three Kingdoms? Is that what this is? Is this War of the Three Kingdoms? Yeah, this is a... I prefer a 1988 movie focused on just Red Clueless Battle. Okay. I think Dragon Quest is where most of Toriyama's best art is. Yeah, so this actually is, I think, an adaptation of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Well, fuck, okay. You can buy this anime on DVD in English. Well, fucking look. Oh, yeah, licensed or Discotek Media. I will be on that shit. I would love to get a rundown on fucking Romance of the Three Kingdoms that isn't Ikitosen. Because something tells me Ikitosen might not be the most historically accurate telling of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I don't know what makes me suspicious, but something does. Alright, 21. Emon Uchu Ike Hadashi no Princess. 21 Emon to space, the barefoot princess. Although she clearly wears shoes in the poster. Alright. Next up we have Magical Taru Ruto Kun Suki Suki Takoyaki. This is the third movie of Magical Taru Ruto Kun. This is Pachin Shite Obachan. The story takes place in the Kanazawa. And tells the story of Yasue, an old woman who suddenly became very ill, her whole body paralyzed. She is told by her doctor she only has 2 weeks to live. That just sounds miserable. That sounds unfun to watch. Boyfriend. This one I swear I've heard of. Takuto Masaki is the second youngest of 4 sons and seemingly a delinquent by nature. His hot temper has put a wedge between himself and his strict father, gotten him kicked out of one school, and tossed him at a school notoriously horrible for one thing he's truly good at: basketball. A chance encounter with the willful Yuki Kanako may serve as a catalyst for change, as the indefinable connection she feels with him draws them together. I have to say this, if this is like a screenshot, I actually kind of prefer the animation style in the actual movie than the poster. And, of course, Dr. Slump, Arale-chan, 92, Oshugatsu Special. And that's all you get. Dr. Slump, New Year doesn't come. Alright, this brings us to spring of the 1992. New TV series coming out by Shoujo Senshi Sailor Moon, which I've reviewed, so we're not reading this one. Crayon Shinshan, which I've reviewed, so we're not reviewing this one. Those are 2 fucking drops right there. Ashite Free Kick. Shun Godai is a young boy who likes soccer, but his grandfather, a successful businessman, want his grandson to follow his path. They just make... I can't believe it's not hentai. I think I have watched something from Magic Bus not too long ago. So I did know they were still around. Cooking Papa. Like Cooking Mama, but her husband, I guess. The story of Mr. Ariawa and his family. He is a model employee in a large enterprise, but he becomes a completely different character at home. He's very keen on cooking and lets pass no occasion to cook delicious dishes for his wife, who's frequently occupied by her work as a journalist or his young son. Well, isn't that cute? Hold on, let's get a little closer image of them. Honestly, Cookin' Papa fucking snagged him a baddie. Damn, his wife is hot. Oh, I think that's his wife. You know what? Doesn't matter. She can still get it. I think Magic Bus also makes hentai. A lot of, like, I can't believe it's not hentai is might as well just be hentai, so that doesn't shock me in any way. I, Harimanada. Harimanada. When Harimanada makes his grand entrance into the world of sumo, he causes complete uproar throughout the entire arena. The novelty head mask is clearly not a good idea, but not content with just ruffling the feathers of all the spectators, he sends the entire sumo association into a frenzy when he arrogantly declares that he will surpass the legendary Futabayama's consecutive run of 69 victories. Should he fail to achieve such a feat, he will immediately retire altogether. Harimanada's impudent remarks cause a huge backlash as every high-ranking Yokozuna wants a chance to knock him down and humiliate him for showing such arrogance. Thus begin Harimanada's journey to the top as he battles to topple the entire sumo hierarchy. That sounds awful, actually. Genki Bakuhatsu Gunbaruger. Energetic bomb Gunbaruger. Kotaro's father is trying to train his son in the art of the ninja, but a hit bomb accidentally damages a shrine and releases a great demon that Elordoron had been keeping contained. Eldoron manages to contain him, but one of his servants manages to escape as well, and now attempts to free his master. To stop him, Eldoron grants the three mecha, Go Tiger, King Elephant, and Mach Eagle to Kotaro and his friends, as well as his suits that grant each of them special powers. Miracle Ninja Ganbare team is born. Also, this was released on Blu-ray because apparently people care enough about that for that to have happened. Cho, Dendo, Robo, Tetsujin, 28 Go, FX. In the far future of 2030, Shotaro's son was in charge of Tetsujin 28, an Interpol agent like his father. He used the Age robot to combat the Pink Mafia and the Franken organization. Oh, this is like a sequel to Gigantor. Wow, that's nuts. Salaju Yusha Tamo Toman. It looks like VeggieTales. Tomato is one of the 10 knights of the Salad Kingdom, young and clumsy, yet always ends up saving the day and is admired by everyone, even the pretty Princess Peach. Okay, how did they get away with that? It's 1992. Mario's been out for like 10 years now. Who is desperately falls in love with. Every episode they embark on a new journey to solve a new mystery. This would be easier if only the insect band didn't get in their way every time. That one is a banana, which I want to be clear don't typically go on salads. And that one's just dressed up as the Monkey King. Is it also Christian propaganda? I mean, you know what? Probably. Alright, this is Na Ga Gutsu wo Haita Neko no Boken. And this is an anime adaptation of Charles Perrault's fairy tale, directed by Susumu Ishizaki. The fairy tale is Puss in Boots. Okay. Puss in Boots movie. Oi! Ryoma! To be fair, Mario had been out for 10 years, but Princess Peach had only been around for like 6 years. Six years is still a good number of years. Did she? Hold up. Let's benefit of the doubt. When did Princess Peach come out? Princess Peach, usually known as Princess Toadstool outside of Japan, prior to Yoshi's Safari, which was 1993. Okay. She originally appeared in Super Mario Bros. In 1985, though. So she had been out for like 8 years at this point. 7 years? About 7-8 years she'd been out. And let's check out her name. No, she was always called Princess Peach in Japan. Yeah, it says right here. It says right here, Miyamoto came up with the name by associating princesses with girls with the color pink, and pink with peaches. In Japan, her name has always been Princess Peach, but in the West, she was known as Princess Toadstool, due to Nintendo of America renaming her when localizing Super Mario Bros., feeling that Peach was irrelevant to the theme of the Mushroom Kingdom. So there you go. Fun fact. Anyway, oi! Ryoma! Just called Rainbow Samurai, which is completely fucking different name. In the middle of the 19th century, Japan was still closed off from the outside world. There were just beginning signs of reformation in the long regime of Shogun Tokugawa. In the remote countryside on the island of Shikoku, a young boy named Ryoma is growing up in a lower-class samurai family. Little did he know, in 20 years, he would be dead. A decade later, he is to become one of the founding figures to topple the shogun's reign and open Japan to the Western world. Our story begins with Ryoma, a dreaming kid of 7 years. Ryoma is an honest and tender-hearted boy who hates any sort of violence and brutality. He is so sensitive and a bit naive that he often cries from pity when he sees even the simplest acts of violence, such as another kid trampling a tiny insect. The kids and even his family call him a crybaby. However, he is not a coward, not a chicken at all. His distress comes from his desire to prevent unreasonable acts and wrongdoings in life. His older sister is the only person who understands his depth. She recognizes that her brother is gifted with a special talent, and she does her best to protect him and cheer him up. I like how it's like, man, he was so good to everyone, and he cried when a bug gets trampled, and then goes on to fucking start the fucking Meiji Restoration? It does have nothing to do with the restaurant. No, they're completely correct, yeah. Super Bikuruman. After the big war between angels and demons, you know how that happened. We all remember that part. The Earth is almost destroyed and his city's devastated. I like how it says his city's devastated. Doesn't specify who, other than perhaps Super Zeus. Wanted to restore the peace and the harmony, 4 young children decides to fight against the enemy of evil that rules the world to eradicate to the earth and give them back to hell. Manga, Nihonshi, NHK Han. You know what came out in spring of 92? La Blue Girl. Nice! We don't have anything to go on about this, so moving on, I guess. This is Yo-Yo no Neko Tsumami. This is Sasurai-kun. This is based on a gag manga by Fujio Fujiko. I have heard of Fujio Fujiko. That is a famous person. That is a famous person who I know for having created something important. Doraemon. They created Doraemon. I was like, that is an important person that did something important. They also created Wario Salesman, which is big in Japan, but was never very big in the West. Did they do anything other than, like, mostly they did Doraemon, right? Yeah, they mostly did Doraemon. Yeah. I mean, when you make fucking oh, he's also dead. Well, rest in peace. When you make fucking Doraemon, I mean, like, what the fuck else do you need to do, right? You can just coast off that for eternity, basically. Blue Girl Popcorn Review when? Would it be a popcorn review? Yeah, it would be a popcorn review. Also, I haven't seen it, so it would definitely be popcorn. Never? Probably never. I'm gonna go never. Probably never. Alright, no O&As because the internet didn't exist yet. Macross 2, Lovers Again. AD 2089. 80 years have passed since Space War 1. For those that are unaware with Macross, I want to be clear, 2089 is actually pretty fucking far in the Macross timeline, considering Macross takes place in 2010. 80 years have changed since Space War 1, changed the lives of both the human and the Zentradi races. Both races are at peace on Earth when a new alien race called the Marduk appear within their solar system. While covering the first battle between the UN, SACing, and the Marduk fleet, the SNN rookie reporter Hibiki Kanzaki discovers Ishtar, an emulator that enhances the Marduk's combat abilities through singing. Oh, God. Oh, they're like antis in treaty. Oh, that would be really tough to deal with. You can't sing them apart. They'll just get empowered by your singing. Hibiki brings Ishtar to Earth to teach her the values of life and culture, together with Ace Valkyrie pilot Sylvie Gina. Hibiki and Ishtar must find a way to save Earth from total destruction at the hands of the Marduk leader, Ingwes. So, like, what? Can the fucking Zentradi not do anything? They fucking show up, beat the shit out of Earth, and we're like, you know what? Your culture's pretty fucking hype. We're gonna stop beating the shit up. And then Earth gets invaded, and they're just like, well, whatever. Whatever. Let's see. Rigveda. We've Guyver. Here we go. Spirit of Wonder, China-san. No, Yutsu. Sometime during... By the way, that is a very beautiful dress. Can I just say that? Okay, sometime during the late 19th century, a young Asian girl, just generically Asian, has made a place for herself in a seaside town as the owner and operator of the Tenkai restaurant and boarding house. Yet Miss China, as the local calls her, is in the dumps. She's got a mad scientist named Breckenridge living upstairs who is chronically late with the rent, and she's pinning for Jim, a handsome watchmaker apprentice whom she mistakenly believes is pursuing the local flower girl. But this isn't our world. It is the world that has Spirit of Wonder, where every so often, just occasionally mind you, amazing things happen. The mad scientist actually has come up with an incredible invention, and Jim has an unbelievable plan to use it to give Miss China the most beautiful ring in all the world. This sounds awesome. Holy shit, this sounds awesome. Yeah, I wish I had already seen this. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, obviously I'm on board. Obviously. What do we got here? This right here is Sosei Kishi Gaia-Arth. It's not Earth. It's not Gaia. It's Gaia-Arth. You can't see it, but there is a hentai adaptation of the Kama Sutra by Go Nagai on here. Hey, guess what? I have seen that, and I have reviewed that. I have reviewed that on Shouting Through the Chorus already. It's not very good, as you can imagine. Gaia-Arth, a world devastated by a cataclysmic war where pockets of humanity struggle to survive amidst the wreckage of technologies made magical by ignorance. Gaia-Arth, a world where artificially intelligent machines doggedly pursue their programmed imperatives to protect or destroy humanity. Gaia-Arth, a world in which an old and terrible evil has reawakened, threatening to once again bring forth Armageddon. As a Go Nagai fan, I assume. Fair enough. KO. It could also be Ko, but I think it's KO. Seki Beast Sanjushi. KO Century Beast Warriors. The series is set in the distant future in which Earth is split in two. The southern hemisphere is placed in another dimension. While the inhabitants of the northern hemisphere are able to morph into beasts like humanoids, eventually the humans of the southern hemisphere, led by Uranus, attack the beasts. The three beasts, Juan Durbard, also called Juan Dabadadata of the tiger tribe, Badolmint of the bird tribe, and Mema of the mermaid tribe are taken prisoner along with Maymer's companion, Tuttle Millen Makaminen, also of the mermaid tribe, but managed to escape thanks to a little girl named Unicharm Password. I'm not sure I have ever hated an anime more than I hate this anime. Together they seek Gaia, which they believe to be a fabulous treasure, but they are pursued by Uranus's minions, V Darn, the vicious mage knight, V Shion, the woman warrior, and Akumako, V Darn's sadistic, imp-like partner. I read that as gimp-like partner. Not to mention, how do you make a movie out of compilation of janky sex drawings of positions that question the realism of? If I recall correctly, it has something to do with reincarnation. Someone got turned into stone. An evil overlord came from like 20,000 years in the past. And the main characters are forced to act out the sex poses inside of a like tube filled with movable stone walls that essentially push their bodies so that they're forced into the positions. I think. If I recall correctly, all of that happens. Joker, Marginal City. OVA based on Joker manga by Katsumi Michihara and writer Yumaki. Joker is a genetically engineered and shape and gender shifter who, created as part of Special Police Task Force, fights all kinds of crimes, but he/she also fits in a little romance around the edges. That doesn't sound terrible. That could be kind of interesting. 36 minutes, one episode? I'll give that a shot. Fuck it. Sounds like Gonagai. It's very Gonagai-y, I will say that. Genji. Is this the tale of Genji? No! Time-traveling lovers Katsumi and Sakura find themselves in the midst of Japan's medieval civil war between the Heike and Genji clans. Well, that's disappointing. I would have loved an anime adaptation of the tale of Genji, which I think there actually is one. I don't feel comfortable clicking on this and then reading the title out loud. Gorilla Man. A school comedy about a mute transfer student, Tadashi Iketo, who is constantly shuffled from school to school for his violent nature, though he's really mild-mannered boy, constantly taunted into fights over his simian appearance. Based on the 1889 manga in Young Magazine by Harold Sakuishi. That's racist. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I don't feel... I don't feel good about this one. He's like really dark. He's like darker in the show than it almost feels like they had to lighten up his skin tone for the DVD box set just because of how fucking bad it looks. Okay, moving on from that to that fucking disaster. Woo! Okay. Zoko Naniwa Yukioden. There is a censored tit on this, and a man that looks like he is just gonna lick the shit out of them. And he's standing on two guys that look really fucking happy that this is happening to them. So, from one debacle to another. Let's see. The Kinshu group is back to their old antics in this mob comedy. Two new recruits join the gang and try to prove their worth. Things take a turn for the worse when the boss takes a bullet and is hospital-ridden. What will happen to the gang as snakes begin to creep to break apart company as if the boss is dead? Based on a manga by Dokuman Pro, a group of 4 manga artists. And this is Gekikara Gag Gekijo Tabasco Shower, which sounds like the worst thing that could happen to you. Based on a Yon Koma manga by Iwatani Tenho. Yon? Oh, it's a 4 koma. I have never seen it written entirely. I have only seen it written 4 koma. I have never seen it written Yon Koma before. I was like, yawn. Like, my brain was like, what number? I recognized it as a number. I'm like, what number is yawn? And then I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's 4. Why? Who writes it like that? I've never seen it written like that. And that's probably how they always write it. That's probably how they write it in Japan. But I've never seen it written Yon Koma. Shoujo Tsubaki. I reviewed that already. We don't actually need to read the description of Shoujo Tsubaki, so that's fun. Is this just about Jesus? I mean, honestly, hold up. Look at this fucking art style. This is actually really pretty. Hashire Melos movie. Run, Melos. Melos is a good boy from Messina and has come to Saracusa, the magnificent city of temples, to buy a ritual sword for his sister's marriage ceremony. He meets a very talented sculptor and they become friends. Later, the king's guard arrest Melos, and while he was having a walk in the castle's gardens, the Syracuse, I think it's Syracuse, by the way, king, obsessed by the idea of assassins out to kill him, sentences him to death. Melos is desperate, but I think I've heard of this story before. I wonder if this was based on something. It's based on a novel. Melos is desperate, but amidst all, he wants to be present in his sister's marriage. So he asks the king for 3 days to go to Messina for the celebration, and then return to Syracuse, where he will accept the death penalty. The king does not trust Melos, but trying to just demonstrate that nobody could trust him, asks him to volunteer a substitute in case he breaks his promise. The sculptor accepts to be Melos' substitute in this case. This sounds pretty good. Actually. I do want to watch this. Candy movie. I've already added this. I assume I read the description of Candy while reading the 1976 plot of Candy. So I think we're good to not read what this is about. I'm making a fucking I'm putting my foot down. We don't need to read the Candy. Even from this shitty VHS rip, trailer had this big ass budget, that's for sure. Oh, Run Melos. Oh, should I mute this? Yeah, it looks really pretty. Oh, wow. See, this is why we do this show. This is why we do this show. To find hidden gems that everyone forgot about, and also to just stumble on shit that shit looks about 10 years ahead of its time. Yeah, it looks really good. This is why we do the show. To find shit that, like, people have forgotten about, like hidden gems buried in the past, and also to find shit like a Gorilla Man. It's the two reasons right next to it why we do the show. Gorilla Man and Melos. This is King Yo Chui Ho, a super fast, short-paced theatrical animation about Wapiko and friends. Has 3 anime, apparently. Interesting. She's just super cute. Honestly, that's just a super cute character design. Yeah, really good character art, honestly, on this. I mean, I'm not gonna watch it. Wow! Who did the fucking character art on this? Like, actually, who did the fucking art for this? Oh, it's based on a manga. So who made the manga, is the question. Oh, that's super cute. Nekobe. Only made this. Wow. What a cute art style. Looks like they retired after this. Okay, we have Maisen Ikoku Preload, Megaru Haru no Sakura no Yuni. One of these days I will probably watch this series, but I think it's like a trillion episodes, and I just do not have time. Yeah, it's like 90. It's like 96 episodes. Maybe one day, there will be a fucking episode of Water about this, like, because there's so much that this would have to be a Water episode, I think, right? Because there's like a billion of these. Yeah, there's like a billion things here. So this would need to be a full-fledged Water episode. And Water is so hard to make. A prequel of My Senikaku TV series focusing on Kyoko's relationship with her husband. One in 1979, another in 81, and the 92 one. Oh, really? That actually makes me wonder if we've encountered Melos before. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. Yeah, it also appears in Blue Literature. Ren Melos in 1981. But looking a lot lower budget. And Run Melos and looking even lower budget from 79. All right. I'm you know what, satisfied with the 92 one. That looks fucking good. All right, that's done with 92. Let's move on to summer of 92. Something got removed. Hold up. Yosei Dick. Yosei Dick was what got removed. I guess the budget only increased each time. I would honestly kind of hope so. It would suck if the budget went down from the 79 one. Yadomon. That's a really cute character design. Yadomon, magical dreamer. After causing havoc in the witch forest, the Queen Yadomon's mother, which is just her name, Yadomon's mother, banishes her to the human world. She does this not only to teach Yadomon a lesson, but also because she has a secret passion for human magazines and books. Excuse me. Well, at the human world, the queen keeps a close watch at Yadomon, which becomes a problem because she falls asleep almost anywhere. The human world has gone extremely high-tech. Also, a lot of animals have become extinct. Yadomon finds herself on an island named Creature Island, where genetically recreated species are made. In the island, she meets Gene and his parents Edward and Maria. I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm assuming it's the font, because I can't see what's wrong with Edward as a spelling for Edward, but something about that looks wrong, and I can only assume when something looks wrong like that, it's a font problem. And Maria, Yadomon meets many misadventures in the human world due to her curiosity, which causes a lot of trouble to the humans and her guardian fairy, Timon, who has the ability to stop time, a totally normal power. This went on for 170 episodes. As Yadomon learns to adapt to the human world and use her powers, a new threat is brewing. Kira, the evil witch, who is sealed inside a volcano by the queen, and the great witch Beryl. Alright, we need to be clear about something. The Sailor Moon manga was out already. Like, I know Sailor Moon started about a season ago as an anime, but the manga has been out. Is what I am telling you. Although, I'm willing to say, because I believe Sailor Moon came out relatively close to its original anime adaptation. She is out for revenge and has her eyes set on humans and Yadomon. So hold up. No, 1991. I was going to say, if I recall correct... No, yeah, but December 28th, 1991. So Sailor Moon hasn't been out that long, actually. Actually, it could be a coincidence. Maybe. It's just close enough that it might not have... It might not be a ripoff. Tenshi Muyo. Speaking of fucking anime that are absolutely gonna need a dedicated water episode, it's Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki. 17-year-old Tenchi Masaki grew up hearing stories about how his ancestor used a sword to seal a demon inside a cave 700 years ago. When curiosity gets the better of him, Tenchi goes to the cave and stumbles across the sword from legend. Thinking that the story is nothing more than a fairy tale, he removes the blade and inadvertently releases the demon, who turns out to be a space pirate named Ryoko Hakubi. Furious about being trapped for so long, she attacks Tenchi, but he's able to repel her with the sword, awakening his inner power. After seeing this, Ryoko takes an interest in her unlikely savior and decides to crash at his place. My favorite part about the Sailor Moon anime is the ending of Season 1. Toei certainly didn't have faith in Sailor Moon taking Yeah, what's hilarious is they have to spend, like, Season 2 does retcon that, like, does continue on to where the first season ends, but they like fly past it in like 5 minutes. They're like, wow, we botched this. Okay, let's fix it. As if it were a chain reaction, more alien women, Eika Juri Masaki, an uptight princess from the planet Jirai, Sasami, Eika's sweet younger sister, Mihoshi Kuramitsu, a ditzy galactic police officer, and Washu Hakubi, a wisecracking genius, gradually come into contact with Tenchi and began living with him. Through his encounters with these 5 women, Tenchi began to learn more about his ancestry, newfound power, and the looming threat lurking beyond the skies. Words cannot describe how fucking influential Tenchi Muyo is, and the fact that I have not seen this to completion is such a shame. Also, just like them fucking gams right there. Just pointing that, just like sometimes you see some gams and you're like, damn, fucking damn, Ryoko, look at them gams. And that was how I was. Anyway, yeah, Tenchi Muyo is another anime that needs its own dedicated water episode. The original 92 Bastard anime. Oh, right, I should probably read. Bastard! Anoko no Hakishin. What the fuck is a gam? You don't know what a gam is? Fucking, how young are you? Gams are legs. Gams are legs. The kingdom Metallicana is under attack from the 4 Lords of Havoc. This party of villains, Ninja Master Gara, Deadly Thunder Empress Nay Arshes, Cold and Calculating Cal Su, and enigmatic Dark Priest Abigail. Is that that feels like a reference to something. Yo, damn, Nay Arshes, hold up. Nay Arshes can fucking get it, alright? I'm just gonna put this at, can fucking get it. Honestly, so can Harn Kai. Woo! Woo! Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. Even if it leads to utter destruction in their work. High Priest Gyo is desperate to help save the kingdom and its people. He unleashes the mighty wizard, Dark Schneider, a man who used to be an ally of the villains. Unfortunately, Dark Schneider has his own plans in mind. Will he stop the 4 Lords of Havoc or join them in their conquest of the world? Bleh, fuck. No, 21. I watched Bastard, it was not good. Originally 8 episodes were planned, but the last 2 were never made past planning. What is, like, the most complete way to watch Bastard? Is it this? No, it's probably the 2022 anime, for sure. It's for sure the 2022 anime. Absolutely. It's 100% the 2022 anime. But I do really like the art. I think I probably prefer the art style on this. I have heard when I was first getting into manga, because I used to be a manga otaku. When I was first getting into manga, I heard about Bastard and I was never able to find it, so I never ended up reading it. And I always wanted to. Then I didn't, and then I failed the mission. Mission failed. Yeah, it seems like they planned 8 episodes, but they never made the last 2, and then there's a more complete... So it seems like this is totally skippable, even though I do really like the art style. Like, I prefer this to the Netflix one, but I think the Netflix one's going to be a better one to watch. Video Girl I... Giant Robo, the animation, Shikyo ga Seishu Saruhi. Giant Robo, the animation, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Is this just an adaptation of The Day the Earth Stood Still? No, it's based on a manga. In the future, humanity comes to enjoy a new age of prosperity thanks to Dr. Shizuma's invention of a revolutionary new and renewable energy source, the Shizuma Drive. But this piece is threatened by the Big Fire, a cabal seeking world domination. Against Big Fire... Big Fire sounds like somehow sounds like a fucking capitalist amalgamation of like companies that somehow make money by committing arson, you know, like Big Pharma, but instead it's Big Fire. Ginrei the fucking Silver Bell can goddamn get it, all right? Anyway, Big Fire, the international police organization, dispatches a collection of superpowered warriors and martial artists together with Daisaku Kusuma, inheritor and master of the world, Earth's most powerful robot, Giant Robo. We will get back to Giant Robo in a second. By capturing an abnormal Shizuma Drive, which is essential to Big Fire's plans, the IPO ignites a desperate conflict between the two groups. The coming battle will test Daisaku's resolve to the utmost, reveal the ghastly truth behind the creation of the Shizuma Drive, and bring humanity's civilization to its knees. I was going to accuse this of being a Super Robo anime until it seemed to go just horribly off the fucking rails, and now I'm like, this doesn't seem like a fucking... horror, like a fucking Super Robo anime at all. This seems real robot. What is happening? Giant Robo is a character-driven adventure in a retro futuristic setting, drawing influences from opera, kung fu cinema, wuya, stories, and classic mecha anime. So there is some Super Robo in there. It incorporates characters from works of manga by Mitsu Teru Yokoyama, but is designed to be a standalone story. I don't know Giant Robo. I know Getter Robo. No, this is Giant Robo. It also apparently had a 2007 adaptation. You know what? I kind of want to try this. I want to see where this is going. I got a feeling. This is Ushio Totora. Oh, yeah, what I was going to bring up is Getter Robo looks like it might have been... Giant Robo looks like it was the inspiration for Exodia, because that motherfucker just looks like Exodia. Like, that is Exodia. That is fucking Exodia. That is just Exodia. Giant Robo! Obliterate! Ushio and Tora. Ushio thinks his father... I think I've actually heard of this. Ushio thinks his father's tale of an ancient ancestor impaling a demon on a temple altar stone with a legendary beast sphere is nuts. But when he finds the monster in his own basement, Ushio has to take another look at the family legend. Unfortunately, Ushio knows it's best to let sleeping dogs lie and leave captured demons where they are. Unfortunately, the release of the monster's evil energy begins to beckon other demons to Ushio's hometown. To save his friends and family from the invading spirits, Ushio is forced to release Tora from captivity. But will the cure prove to be worse than the curse? Will Ushio end his life, Tora snack? Or will the beast spear keep Tora in line long enough to save the city? Yeah, I've heard about this for some reason. It looks like this got a relatively recent adaptation, too. It definitely did. Yeah, in 2015 it did. Yeah, I remember when this came out, kind of. Not really. I remember reading about this at some point, post after it came out. Let's see, more Mad Bull, more Guyver. We have Hanape Bazooka. Alright, lecherous high school boy Hanape is visited by two demons who step from his TV and immediately fall in lust with his mother and sister. The demons turn Hanape's home into a meeting ground for the demonic friends and grant Hanape the power of the Hanape Bazooka. Now his index finger is capable of both a deadly blast and the ability to drive women in a lustful frenzy, but Hanape isn't very good at controlling it and winds up in serious trouble. So you mean to tell me that this motherfucker gets a fucking spirit gun from Yu Yu Hakusho, but also it seduces people? That lucky dog. Although, here's the question. Here's my question. If you use demon magic to make women horny, is that rape? Oh, it's created by Go Nagai. Then the answer is yes. the answer is probably yes. Okay, then, moving on. Hello, Harin Izumi Satsui no Ryobun. Domain of Murder. How much fucking anime adaptations does Go Nagai have? This is like the 18th. One stormy night, a young woman is shot to death on a cliff. Her body is found floating in the waters below the next morning. She was the last seen with a man who is being sought not only for her death. Meanwhile, an estranged wife hires Goro, a private investigator, to find her husband, alongside another member of law enforcement with his own motives for finding the man. Goro sets forth on a trail of tragedy and intrigue to find the reason and connection behind the murders and the missing husband. This honestly sounds like a Lifetime movie. And so I will pass, because I have standards. This is Iron Virgin June. In the Asuka family, nothing is more important than family tradition. For their lovely daughter, June, it means she must get married on her 18th birthday. Although poor little Virgin June is not above kicking butt, she just can't stand the thought of marrying someone she doesn't love. You know what? Fucking fair. Her mother sends out a gang of bloodthirsty goons to drag her to the altar, but June would rather beat 100 suitors into one big bloody mess than get married on her mother's terms. And she's about to prove it. Only, I will agree to watch this only because I want to know how it ends. That is my motivation. I want to see the ending. I don't necessarily want to see the ride. Or as Sukeban, speaking of Go Nagai adaptions, Oz. Loosely based by L.F. Baum's novel The Wizard of Oz, considering this motherfucker has a goddamn gun, yeah, I would say loosely is correct. A nuclear war, oh my fucking god, has killed most of humanity and split the USA into 6 warring states. In the far future of 2021, a legend has grown up about the fabled city of Oz, where everything still works. Scientist Felicia sets out in search of it with the mercenary Muto in Android 1019. At the end of the quest, they only discover a military base and a madman. A mercenary was hired by a girl to bring back the mythical Oz, a paradise where her missing brothers supposedly live. Accompanying them was a cyborg sent by her brother, but Oz was not a paradise it seemed, and her brother was not as sane as he was smart. And there is a character in this named Rupert Epstein. So, have fun with that knowledge. We also have Leon Conrad Epstein and Felicia Melissa Epstein. Oh, moving fucking on. We have Chameleon OVA. This is series antics of 10th grade student Isaku Yazawa, who wants to become a Basu Sozuka, a motorcycle gang member. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Oh, this is just called Bite Me. Nozomi Witches. This I've heard of. Let's see. Ryotaro and his family have just moved into a housing neighborhood. He soon discovered... into a new housing neighborhood. He soon discovers he's lucky enough to be living next door to a beautiful and bewitching girl, Nozumi Igawa. Nozumi is an actress, and surprisingly more than anything else, she wants Ryotaro to become a boxer so that he can fulfill her dream. Excuse me. Just general advice for you, Ryotaro. If a girl comes up to you and is like, I want you to begin professional fighting, find a new girl. Ryotaro isn't exactly sure what Nozumi's dream is, but he definitely does not want to become a boxer. Then don't, sir. Unfortunately for Ryotaro, he finds himself being dragged to the high school boxing club because Nozomi has written his resume claiming that he is a boxing genius. It actually seems Ryotaro has a special gift for boxing that he's never known about before. Ryotaro soon finds himself in a winner's circle, but for how long can he last? And can he really live up to Nozumi's expectations? This bitch sounds like a yandere. Just like a straight-up crazy person. I'm gonna watch this just because I want to see how fucking insane this bitch is. Honestly. That's what I want to know. I want to know how crazy she is. This is Princess Army Wedding Combat, which is the greatest name I have ever heard for an anime, and I might just save it just based on the name. This is a story about Ada Nonaka, who is rescued from a drunken attacker by a judoist. She then resolves to become as good as her savior, hoping that one day to recognize him by the scar on her back. I think I've heard of this before. She then transferred to a new school where she meets two older boys who could possibly be the person to whom she owes her life and gave her heart. Okay, I'm in. I don't know why I am, but I am. I'm in. We're gonna watch Princess Army Wedding Combat. This is Karasu Tengo Kabuto Ogon no Me no Kemono. Kabuto is a Tengu who has to save a princess from a fortress which is full of monster mecha hybrids in an alternate reality of feudal Japan. That sounds and looks terrible. It sounds unwatchable. That just sounds not like a thing I would watch. This is Shin Dosei Jidai Hawaiian Breeze. And this adaptation of a manga by Fumi Shibama, itself a retelling of a 1972 manga by Kazuo Kimamura, the original Age of Cohabitation, whose existence is implied by the new in this title. Honda has been living with Eri for 2 years and debates whether or not he should ask for her to marry him. This is Hokago no Tinkerbell, based on a story from the After School series line of light novels. Kenichi Akizuki and Misaka Watanabe work together to solve the mysterious disappearance of their classmate, Ryoko Miyazaki. The only clue left by the kidnapper is sign Koshin Okazaki, her late classmate who'd committed suicide to preserve his youth and become like Peter Pan. That sounds creepy. How long is this? 48 minutes? 46 minutes? I can watch that. I'll watch that. I'm interested. You've got me. What else we got? We got Lika-chan no Nichiyobi. On one relaxing Sunday, Lika tags along with her friends to babysit 2 rather grumpy little boys. That one sounds a lot less interesting. Moving on. Seikima 2 Humane Society Jinrui ai ni Machita Shakai. Apparently there's a character in this named Demon Kogura who's voiced by a guy called Demon Kaka. So that's fun. Seikima 2 was a real-life Japanese death metal band full of kabuki makeup, songs about rape, murder, and satanic destruction, and public persona of devilish evil. The OVA purports to tell the backstory of the band, which according to its publicity was composed of actual demons, Akuma, from parallel dimension Makai. In the OVA, 5 vicious demons, the 5 band members, led by Demon Kogura, the lead singer, are plotting the destruction of humanity. The only effective opposition comes from the saintly Rosa, who is actually a reformed war goddess. Freya in disguise. The demons attempt to activate their ultimate weapon, the Tower of Babel, before Rosa can compete her counter-weapon, the Tower of Cain. The demons triumph and are on the verge of destroying the world when their leader suddenly decides that they should instead form a rock and roll band in order to convert people everywhere into demon worshippers. Sure. Anime Rakogukan. Oh, it's Red Oni, Blue Oni. I assume it's like a series of like Japanese folktales and stuff. Collection of 8 standalone stories told in Rakugo style. Future GPX Cyber Formula Graffiti, which I swear we've read. Yeah, we definitely did back in 1991. This is Dawn Gokudo Suikoden. Takekichi Masakazu are 2 tough guys who are forced to go underground when they lose their boss in a turf war in this modern update of the Chinese novel Water Margin. Ooh, Water Margin is one of like the 5 great Chinese works or whatever they're fucking called. Kurenai no Buta came out. That movie's bad. This is Dragon Ball Z Movie 7. Kyogen Battle Sendai Super Saiyajin. Dragon Ball Z Super Android 13. Dr. Rose Android 13, 14, and 15 are awakened by laboratory computers and immediately head to the mall where Goku is shopping. After Goku, Trunks, and Vegeta defeat 14, 15, and 13, absorbs their inner computers and becomes a super being greater than the original 3 separately were. Now it is up to Goku to defeat him. Which I think he like merges with a spirit bomb at the end of that movie and they just kind of run into him, right? Isn't that what happens? I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Fucking spoilers for a movie that came out in 92. Renma 1/2 Kessen Togen Kyo Hanayome wo Torimo Dose. Or Renma 1/2 the movie 2, The Battle of Togen Kyo Rescue of the Brides. Ranma and the gang are invited to a boating trip with Kuno. Unfortunately, a storm destroys the yacht, and everyone is stranded on a remote island. The whole situation goes even more... Is that Arai? I've never seen it spelled like that, if that is how Arai... Okay. One by one, the girls disappear without a trace. Ranma finds out that the girls are abducted by Toma, the ruler of the island, as part of his personal harem. This is Keto Senshi Gundam 83, Xenon Nozaku. Mobile Suit Gundam 83, The Afterglow of Zeon. So this is Universal Century. 3 years after the end of the catastrophic one-year war, peace on Earth and the colonies is shattered by the presence of the Dallas Fleet, a rogue Zeon military group, loyal to the ideals of the late dictator Gairin Zabi, Dallas Fleet's ace pilot. Anvel Gato, once hailed as the Nightmare of Solomon, infiltrates the Federation's Torrington base in Australia and steals the nuclear-armed Gundam GPO-2A Physalis prototype. Rookie pilot Ko Araki, and with the aid of Anaheim electronics engineer Nina Purpleton, and the crew of the carrier Albion, pilots of the Gundam GP-01 Zephyranthus prototype in an attempt to recover the stolen Gundam unit and prevent another war from breaking out. Alright. Kaze no Tairiku. The Weathering Continent. 3 adventurers, a warrior, a priest, and a young woman. Ah, yes. The 3 classes of adventurer. Warrior, priest, woman. Traverse a land devastated by centuries of environmental calamities, searching only for a way to survive. In their journeys, they stumble across the first remains of a band of desperate treasure hunters, and then the treasures they were seeking. Azik Sistra, the legendary city of the dead. Unfortunately, the bandits responsible for the slaughtering of the treasure hunters have also found their way to the city. But more worrisome still are guardians which protect Azik Sistra from those who would violate the spirits at rest there. I want to look at the character designs a little bit. The warrior just is Guts. It's Guts, Griffith, and Casca. That is just Guts, Griffith, and Casca. That's just what. That is just what it is. Yeah, there's no way around this. All right, Silent Mobius 2. This sequel to Silent Mobius, the movie 1, continues the timeline of the flashback section of the first... I'm sorry, do we need a continuation of flashback? Katsumi's initial contact with AMP, using some more ideas and persons from the manga and being slightly less incompatible to the Silent Mobius series from 1998. Rakudenshi Blues. Maeda is a new student in Teiken High School. He stutters when he's nervous and he's rather clumsy. He gets noted immediately because he hits a teacher during the entrance ceremony. Some clubs search to enlist him so they can as they see in him a force they can use to get even with other clubs. But Maeda is a loner and it has only one dream: becoming a boxing champion. This art style looks very familiar. I think I've heard of this. Who made this? I think I've heard of this manga. It ran till 1997. I swear I've heard of this. Yeah, I'm gonna say I've definitely heard of this. What do we got now? We have Yaware Sorayuke Koshinuke Kids. Yaware, oh, she's pretty. Helps a group of timid grade schoolers overcome their fears and compete in judo competition. One of the kids is Hanazono's cousin, which is how she meets them. Another is a girl who seems a lot like Yawara. Yawara. Sure. Let's see. Dragon Quest. Did we just read this? Nope, this is a completely different Dragon Quest movie. Okay. Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken Buchi Yabara Shinsei 6 Daishogun. Dragon Quest Great Adventurers of Dai destroy the reborn 6 commanders. The third Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken movie. The story takes place between episode 35 and 36 of the series. After yet again defeating some of Hadler's, the leader of the Great Demon King's army, warriors, and saving the princess, Dai and his fellow adventurers are relaxing and helping rebuild the island village. Unbeknownst to them, Hadler was usurped by a demon lord called Galbus, who immediately sets forth once and for all to destroy Dai using his own sexton of champions. During the initial surprise attack, Dai's friend, Mom's soul is taken in order to get back to Dai, and his friends must attack Galbus on his chosen battleground. Will Dai survive this? No! No, he will not, because they never made a sequel to this movie. Next up, we have Hana no Mahotsukai, Maribel, Phoenix no Kagi. Maribel, Yuri, Ken, Ribbon, Tambourine go to Flowerland to see Toto the Phoenix on his birthday. This trip takes 43 minutes. Look, I'm getting tired. Alright, we have Senbon Matsubara. After suffering severe floods in 1753, the people of Senbon Matsubara and Shizuoka cooperate on flood prevention around the Kiso, Nagara, and Yuhi rivers. The people of Satsuma, the Kumamoto prefecture, endure great hardships after being forced to undertake the work by central government, a subtle indication of the bad feeling that would ferment into open rebellion the following century. Up here is Zoresha ga Yatakite. An educational film about the elephant trains in Japan. During World War II, many zoos are slaughtering their dangerous animals, such as elephants, as a safeguard against Allied bombings which might release the animals. After World War II, the only elephants that remained in Japan were two at the Higashiyama Zoo in Nagoya. Special trains called elephant trains were arranged to bring children from all over the country to Higashiyama Zoo. I did not know that. I did know that. I actually think I've heard that before. This is Dragon Ball Z Summer Vacation Special, in which Goku and Gohan look fucking dapper. One peaceful afternoon, the Sun family and friends are spending the day out on the town shopping in West City. Meanwhile, two strangers enter the city and begin causing havoc, destroying nearly everything in their path. As the Sun family is eating, the buildings they're in is suddenly attacked. As it turns out, the two are after Son Goku. Who else would they be after? When Goku sees that innocent people are being attacked in his name, he becomes furious. Trunks comes to Goku's aid, and the two, lead the artificial humans out of the city. As the battles moved elsewhere, Goku and Gohan, now dressed in white tuxes, return and land in West City. The two proceed to show clips and highlights of the preceding Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies. Goku, of course, doesn't much like being all dressed up, and by the end, he powers up and changes back into his typical dogi. Gohan tries to do the same, but isn't powerful enough to get out of its tux. Goku says he'll get there someday. That doesn't seem... sure? But this is like post-Namek Gohan. What the fuck do you mean he's not strong enough to burst out of a suit? Goku says he'll get there someday, and Gohan tells everyone to be sure to go see Extreme Battle, the three great Super Saiyans in theater. Fucking Gohan slander is what that is. Alright, we have Lupin III, Russia, Yuri wo Kumete. Lupin III, Bank of Liberty. And we have Red Coat Lupin. This time, Lupin is after 500 tons of gold bullion. Gold bars that used to belong to the House of the Romanov, the last rulers of the Russian Empire. His only clue is a code in an old book that a cipher machine has broken down to the words Bank of Liberty. As always, whenever Lupin's involved, the situation gets complicated. This adventure takes him through the USA and Russia with loads of action and classic Lupin-style escapades along the way. This is Rama 1/2, Tendo K, no, Oyo Bi Denai Yatsura. This feature is a Nabiki narrated review of the series where she discusses various characters that the Tendo family has had to tolerate, spliced with new animation hanging around the house, taking a bath, and wondering about the true identity of Pichan. It was available through the Kitty Animation Circle. We have Uchida, Shungiku no Noroi no One Piece. One Piece wasn't out yet. An omnibus horror TV special where three girls encounter a beautiful rose-patterned yellow one-piece dress which curses them as they try to gain the attention of the man they like in their lives. That sounds kind of fun, actually. Horror shoujo romance? Honestly, yeah, it sounds very much like yellow wallpaper or something. I'm on board. All right, fall of 1992. We're finally almost done with this. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. All right. Kicking us off with Yu Yu Hakusho, which I've already reviewed, so Hime-chan no Ribbon. Excuse me. Which I've for sure heard of. Erika, the princess of the magical kingdom, has come to Earth in order to find a human girl who looks just like her. That girl turns out to be Himiko Nonohara, a tomboy's tomboy. Erika must give Himiko a magical item she's created in order to prove her worth as a successor to the crown. Himiko must test this item, a hair ribbon that allows her to transform into any other person she sees, to see if it is worthy. The series follows Himiko's adventures and her budding romance with Daichi, the boy who discovers her secret. This is Kaze no Naka no Shoujo Kinpatsu no Jini. All right. The story begins in a small town, Pennsylvania, in 1838. Jeannie McDowell is a cheerful, beautiful girl with light brown hair. She's clearly blonde in this image. Jeannie enjoys playing the piano and loves taking piano lessons from her mother. Stephen, a good harmonica player, and Bill, a black boy, who is very good at playing the banjo, are great friends of Jeannie's. They enjoy playing music together in a small band. However, Jeannie's happy life changes dramatically after her mother suddenly passes away. Experiencing many difficulties and learning the importance of life, she decides to devote her life to helping many people suffering from illness. This is a series. This series is a highly emotional love story about the relationship between young Stephen Foster, who later becomes a famous composer and author of children's songs, and young Jeannie McDowell, who becomes Stephen Foster's wife. Oh, that's kind of cute, but not Bill. No, not Bill. Mikon Aniki. A kitten abandoned and left for dead along with his siblings is taken by Tomu Kusanagi, who nurtures him and discovers that the tangerine cat so adores is actually a genius who can talk, walk, read, and even has an acquired taste for liqueur. Don't feed your cats liqueur. You will kill them. Alright, this is Tsuyoshi Shikakari Shinasai. Tsuyoshi Ikawa lives at home with his popular and beautiful sisters. Despite their qualities, his sisters and his mother are horrible at household chores, including cooking. So, all these duties are taken over by Tsuyoshi while his father is away due to temporarily transfer to another city for work. This is Shin Calimero. This series tells about many adventures of a small fledgling Calimero, which is, I assume, a type of bird, and his friends who uncover many secrets and sometimes getting into trouble along the way. I want to click this just because I want to know if this is anyone's favorite. It is two people's favorite anime character. Good for them. This is Flanders. No, Ino. Boku. No, Patricia. A dog of Flanders, my Patricia. A boy named Nello becomes an orphan at the age of 2 when his mother dies. His grandfather, who lives in a small village, takes him in. One day, Nello finds a dog who was almost beaten to death and named him Patricia. Due to good care of his grandfather, the dog recovers, and from then on, Nello and Patricia are inseparable. It's probably Patrice. It's probably Patrice, for the record. Since they are very poor, Nello has to help his grandfather by selling milk. Patrice helps him pull the milk cart that Nello uses to sell milk in town. This, I believe that is the name of the dragon in ReZero. This is Oyayubi Hime Monogatari Thumbelina, a magical story. That just looks like a fucking Digimon. A bratty girl named Mia is given a book, Thumbelina, which, upon reading, she's shrunk and transported into the world of the book. She embarks on a journey to return home into normal size, making friends and learning lessons along the way. But that's only the beginning of her adventures. Then zombies invade the book, and... Alright, this is Bo Kensha. The man was from Spain. Is this about Christopher Columbus? Christopher Columbus is a man of strong will. His life is full of drama. Born in Genoa, he realizes his dream of becoming a sailor, dares to search for a new route, and finally reaches his goal, discovering a new land in the process. Sometimes in desperation, sometimes in excitement. His experiences are truly extraordinary. Yes. And then he tries to enslave a small island, and his men are like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. Can we not? And Columbus is like, well, I'm gonna whip you. And then his men are like, we might kill this guy. We genuinely might kill this guy. And then the natives are like, yo, we don't want to be slaves, so we're just gonna kill ourselves. And then, like, the island's population gets reduced to, like, a third. So people say Columbus committed genocide, and I think that's not fair to Columbus, because, like, I think... he was trying to enslave people and, like, conquer the island, But so killing the people was like incidental to his goals, right? He wasn't trying to commit genocide. It just so happened that he killed a lot of people. So it's like, I guess the question is, can you accidentally commit genocide, right? Because if the answer is yes, then I guess he may have committed a tiny genocide, but not nearly as much as people think he did, right? Like the extent of his genocide in this case is like vastly over exaggerated, but he may have committed a tiny genocide as long as you count doing it completely on accident because you're a fucking moron as committing a genocide. Then maybe a tiny one, but like not a big one. It was like mostly just like one island, right? So I don't know. It's a little dicey. What is unquestionable about Christopher Columbus is that he was a huge shithead, and even his own men hated him. So he was definitely a murderer and a rapist, for surezies, right? Like to the point where even his own like men were like, this guy might be the fucking worst, right? So I mean, take that for how you will, you know. Like, history has not been kind to Columbus, is what I will say about that. Nangoku Shona Pupua-kun. Pupua-kun is a young boy living in a quiet life with his dog Chappie on a small island located somewhere in South Pacific, when Shintaro, who is being pursued by gangsters, invades their happy existence. Chappie takes Shintaro's precious jewel, thereby making the two main characters lifelong rivals. Together they experience a series of bizarre adventures and situations. Super Zugan. Hideyuki Toyotomi used to be a normal person, but he gets dragged into mahjong games by three degenerate companions who constantly lose in spite of the tiles he draws. Isn't this based on a game? No, it's based on a manga. Oh. There's like a game like this also. Maybe the game was based on the manga also. This is Space Oz no Boken, because that's what Wizard Oz needs, is the space. In the year 2060, 8-year-old Dorothy and her dog are but they do have blonde Dorothy. So that's cool. Fun on them for being canonical. Are swept off their planet into a wonderful magical galaxy of Oz. An evil witch, Gloomhilda, once ruled the galaxy through fear and terror, but was driven out by the good Dr. Oz. Oh, God. Now Gloomhilda has amassed an army of outskirts of the galaxy and is preparing to win back her empire. Her sneak attack fails due to Dorothy's unexpected arrival. However, Dr. Oz knows Gloomhilda will return. He has a plan which will free the galaxy of the wickedness of Gloomhilda forever. Legends tell of three magical crystals: the Crystal of Love, the Crystal of Wisdom, and the Crystal of Courage. These crystals are spread throughout the galaxy and lost hundreds of years ago. According to the legend, whoever possesses all three crystals will rule the galaxy for all eternity. Under the guidance of Dr. Oz, Dorothy and an assortment of heroes set to scour the galaxy in search of these three magic crystals. That sounds fucking dog shit. And The Wizard of Oz is a good enough book that you could just adapt it one for one and you'd have a good movie. Probably a better movie. This is Shonen Ashibe 2. This is the sequel to Shonen Ashibe. Which was a TV series that came out in 91 based on a 4-koma. Or a Yonkoma, as we've learned today. All of this was already out. Okay, OVA is Tenchi Muyo, Bastard, Tokyo Babylon. Hello. Subaru Sumeragi is the 13th head of the Sumeragi clan and the most powerful Onmyoji. Subaru is hired to exercise a construction site, but his employer mysteriously died. The only suspect is a man who repeatedly walks away from situations in which he should have died. Then Subaru meets a young woman, intent upon cursing the man, saying that he killed a brother. Subaru must figure out how his employer died and fight the evil spirits that are protecting the man with the help of his friend and twin sister, Sashiro Sakurazuka and Hokuto Sumeragi. So, mostly, I just want to see this because I've heard about this a bunch, and that's my whole motivation. Alright, Ushino Tora. This is actually available on Crunchyroll, so this is interesting. Let's see what this is. And this is available on High Dive, so that's fun too. This is Benno Buka Neko Musume, all-purpose cultural cat girl Nukuduku. Okay. Let's see. Ryonosuke Natsumi is the son of genius inventor Kiyosaku Natsumi and an overbearing Akiko Natsumi, CEO of Mishima Heavy Industries. Using funds from his wife's company and a brain from his beloved son's cat, Kiyosaku creates a revolutionary android called Atsuko Nuku Nutsume. To Kiyosuke's disgust, Akiko wants to use her husband's technology to create weaponized robots for her company's customers, resulting in Ryonosuke getting caught within the within the explosive fights between his parents. The android Nuku Nuku tries to live a normal high school student, adopting the role of Ryonosuke's older sister, but usually ends up acting as her family's protector. Nuku Nuku will do anything to protect the ones. Isn't she just a fucking cat? Her brain capacity should be that of like a fucking 4-year-old, but without the ability to speak English because she lacked the vocal cords previously. This is Green Legend Ron. A story of future Earth awarding for mankind. In the future, our planet will be transformed into a strange world where human life struggles on Earth without rain or oceans, only vast, parched deserts. Ooh, too true. Two youths fight for survival on our hostile planet and find hope. The sea, the sky, and the land have been completely polluted by mankind when mysterious objects fell from the heavens. The Titanic vessels smash into the planet, suck up air and water and most living creatures into their womb, stealing away the very essence of Earth's nature. The few remaining inhabitants struggle for survival against a hostile environment and an oppressive ruling race known as the Roto. One young, hot-blooded human named Ron fights against the Roto in a world in which rain is only a legend. He strives to join the anti-Roto group known as Hazard, not only to defeat the Roto, but also to hunt down the man who killed his mother. And I just, like, so in the stories where, like, there's no water, you always have to wonder, like, how are these people alive? Like, how are they growing their food? What are they drinking? How are they alive? Ease. This is one of the situations where I'd just rather play the game. Which I own, because I own, like, all of them, I think. I don't think I own the latest one, but I own all the others. Tenku no Shindan, Adol Christine no Boken, or Ys 2, Castle in the Heavens. I definitely own Ys 2. Now Adol Christian has saved the land of Asteria from the evil priest Darkfact. Adol and two priestesses travel to the floating a land of Ys where evil, even greater influence on the people, and no one has hope. The future of Ys falls to Adol, heir to the powers of the priests, and the only one who can show the people of Ys the truth about their world. But as Adol's power grows, he may be the only one who will save Ys or destroy it. He'll save it, because they made like 8 games after this. Although I think they jump around in the timeline, so who fucking knows? Maybe he does destroy it. Maybe that's why they had to jump around in the timeline so hard. This is Jingen Sengoku Kushi Kuro no Shishi Jinai Hen, or Black Lion, which I think I've heard of. The year is 1580. Using it, this is just straight up a robot. Using an army of soldiers equipped with sophisticated weaponry, Nobunaga Oda is on the verge of ruling Japan with an iron fist. One of his enforcers is Genai Doma, a fallen samurai reborn into an indestructible killing machine. As Genai continues his killing spree on ninjas, and those who oppose Nobunaga's role, Shishimaru of the Iga clan, going against the Koga ninjas' plans, pursue a one-man vendetta to avenge the deaths of his comrades and kill the immortal warrior. Download Namu Amida Butsu wa Ai no Uta. This is Download Devil Circuit, an exciting cyberpunk romp directed by Rintaro with veteran animator Kaneda Yoshinori about a genius hacker and a gang of hot rodders. I have heard these names. Did the character design for Totoro. That's a pretty good accomplishment. But a lot of this is key animation. Yeah, mostly just key animation. Rentaro I've definitely heard, though. He directed X 1999. He directed Galaxy Train, or Galaxy Express. Yeah, 1999. Okay, yeah. Like an actual legend. Alright, we have Future GPX Cyber Formula 111. I added an extra one for no reason. It is now time for the 11th Cyber Formula World Grand Prix. With all the expectations and pressures placed on him, Hayato Kazuma struggles to regain the championship form that he had a year ago. Moreover, Osamu Sugo, Knight Schumacher, has re-entered the competition and declared Hayato to be an enemy. Hayato, with his new Super Asurade AKF-11, must now defeat someone he once deeply trusted in order to secure his second championship. This is Genso Yotan Alicia, maybe? Let's see. The sacred book of the land of Ija has been rediscovered, and legends of a mysterious and all-powerful ship, now Princess Crystal of Megaronia, has set forth on a quest to recover the ship and its ultimate weaponry. All that stands between her and total domination of the world is a small group of piratical misfits. Sword, sorcery, and technology blend to form a mesmerizing tale of good versus evil in Alicia. I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting a little tired. I'm starting to run down. And like my eyes are starting to hurt because I'm reading too much. New Dream Hunter Rem, Setsuriku no Muden Mikyu. Rem is an ordinary woman in our world, but in the world of dreams, she becomes a dream warrior, defending humanity from the evils there. When dream demons reach the waking world, she fights them with the help of her pets, which transform into a tiger and a wolf. This is Apfeland Monogatari. Apfeland is a small but beautiful country surrounded by Russia, Austria, and Germany. Those aren't three countries you want to be surrounded by. Vel is a boy who lives in the capital of Charlottenburg. He happens to help a girl named Fried. She was kidnapped because of a radium mine. Wow, everything... Every time it adds something, it sounds worse. Was found in grandfather's abandoned mine. Aiming at the radium mine, various people gather there. For example, an American who wants to make money, a Polish woman, disguised like a man who wants to earn money for the revolution, and the Ministry of Apfeland, who plots to affiliate with Germany. Val and Fried are involved in their plots, and they know the secret of the mine. Okay, well, there's a lot going on there, so... Masako Katsuki. She has very colorful hair. She's still active, actually. She did Cassidy. What is this? Sayuki Reload Blast? Huh. No, it looks a lot worse now that I've read it. Oh, she did Tsunade. Yeah, okay, yeah, wow. Yeah, I definitely recognize her. I think I mostly know her for Tsunade. That is a fucking character design. Okay, no, that doesn't sound very good. I've watched this, apparently. I don't even remember watching this. What the fuck is this? Oh, I did watch this. I was like, what the fuck is this? So the problem with the amount of anime I've watched is sometimes I'll just be scrolling by and I'll be like, what the fuck? Oh shit, she did, Neptune. She did Neptune. Yeah, I probably mostly know her for Tsunade and Neptune. Oh, she was also the main villain of Sukeban Daka. Oh, she was also in Gunbuster. She also apparently plays Rakoka Lond in Gundam, but I haven't watched Zeta, so I don't actually know who that is. And she's also Ten's mother in Urusei Yatsura. Okay, so a very long career that is apparently still going on. Good for her. Neko Hiki no Oro Rane. During the holiday season, a young man encounters a drunken cat belonging to an old man in an alley. The old man has trained his 3 cats to sing. That sounds not good. Excuse me. Dragon Slayer, Iu Densetsu Oji no Tabedachi. Farin is a peaceful and happy realm ruled by a wise king until Demon Lord Akdam overruns the kingdom and his black legions and terrifying dragon, killing the king and capturing the queen. But the king's young son, Sirius, is swept away to safety and grows to be a powerful warrior, tutored in the ways of swordsmanship and chivalry by his father's loyal minion, Riaz. I want to say I've heard of this, but I don't think I actually have. Oh, I've probably heard of the game. Oh, I've heard of the game. That's right. It's based on a game. I've heard of the game. Scramble Wars. This I have heard of. Tsupashire Genom Trophy Rally. Take the characters from a number of sci-fi based animes, a stage not unlike wacky races, super deformed madness, and general insanity, and what you get is Scramble Wars. While Scramble Wars does not include characters from the original Bubblegum Crisis, Golf Force, and Genesis Survivor Gaia Arth, it also has while it does include, it also has a few characters from other animes such as AD Police and Riding Beam. None of these anime are known for their characterization, for the record. It doesn't matter if you loved or hated any of these series. We don't care about that part. As long as you've seen at least one of them, you'll have a great time watching this. Through the Insanity is so generic that it doesn't really matter if you've seen any of the animes featured in Scramble Wars. Wacky Races, no, not really, but close enough. Genom is holding the race. The winner will receive the Genom Trophy. Woohoo, yay, enter. Pris on her Motoroid. Line and Nene, Sila and Maki. A boomer. Boomers are like killer robots from Bubblegum Crisis. Okay, and the characters from other animes mentioned a million times. All will be racing against each other to win this prestigious trophy for some reason. And all of them will do anything to win it. Okay, then. This is Takarajima Memorial Unagi to Yubareta Otoko. So, like, I've either seen this art style or I've seen this dude before. A short story set during Jim's adventure at sea. He encounters a man at a bar who told a tale about a one-legged man. Thinking it's Silver, who the man is referring to, Jim later asked for details. The man told Jim that near the coast of Toron, Silver left the ship they were on, went to the island on a small boat. Jim, who couldn't go at the time, left Meritoron 6 years later. He met Silver's wife and son there. I think I've seen like clips or something from this. Like, this dude looks super familiar to me. Or I've just seen a guy that looks exactly like that before. Wolf Guy. We've got Wolf Guy. Akira Inugami, clever, is infected with a terrible poison. The only known antidote has an unfortunate side effect. It turns him into a werewolf. He opts for survival, but then he has to cope with his new desires and the attention of the military, which is interested in using his affliction for its own purposes. I think I've heard of Wolf Guy before. Someone told me about Wolf Guy. I have, for some reason, heard of Wolf Guy. Anyway, it sounds not good. We have Iano Felina. The story is centered around Felina, a princess who was raised as a boy after her kingdom was conquered. Not that fucking dress, she wasn't. We have D1 Devastator. To follow his missing friend, Masato's footsteps, Ryo joined the vehicle company Yasu. Yaisu. Ryo became involved with Makuhari's test course that Masato was also a part of. The leader, Gray Gear, told Ryo, if you want to know about Masato, come to the test course late at night and ride the new machine. When Ryo got in the new machine, the Victor Versus, and rode it around the course, he was able to exceed 300 kilometers per hour and suddenly warped into a mysterious space. There's nothing to go on. Although, she is wearing, like, the skimpiest leotard. This is Hayo no Suragi Shikoku no Masho. Oh, I think we're almost done. A resident of the floating castle that battled demon beings, the girl Rasu, chosen by the willful lady, the demon breaker sword, is sent on a quest to save a princess kidnapped by a yokai. I assume it means yokai. Her quest is helped by a mysterious yokai called Anshu, but he has a basic color that usual yokais do not have. Yeah. He is also hampered by her quest by her demon being-oriented younger brother who seeks her golden eyes, the heritage of their father, the Golden Yoshu. That sounds like that could be interesting if there was anything more to go by. This is Nanbo no Manjai Yankee Yorintai. A youthful motorcycle game in Osaka has their fair share of turf wars, lewd women, and full throttles as they go about their too school for school attitude with misconceptions and gags galore. Oh, fuck. Okay, this is Shin Chobakumatsu Shonin Seiki Takamaru. I'm clicking on this just because this guy looks so fucking comfy in his little hoodie. Look at him. Look how comfy that man looks. Anyway, moving on. Alright, what did I just click on? It was not this. Okay. Genki Bakuhatsu Ganbarager Hayaka. This is a recap episode of the first 13 episodes of Genki Bakuhatsu Ganbarager, narrated by the three protagonists. Just fucking watch the show, then. Yeah. Alright, this is... This is Naniwa Yokyoden Neketsu Bakusho Menkai Hen. In the third series, continues as the gang hits up a karaoke bar at night only to cause a ruckus with their less than desirable singing. They soon find out the karaoke bar might close from local hooligans and attempt to rescue it for compensation. A fellow gang member gets involved too deep with a woman, even though he's married. This is Columbus no Daiboken. Another anime about Christopher Columbus, I think. As he nears the new world, Christopher Columbus is cabin boy Paco about his useful hardships, the difficulties of convincing others of his vision, and the final victory when King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella agreed to sponsor his trip. The sailors are doubtful. They almost mutiny like 3 times, though Columbus is vindicated when they arrive on land, but it's not as the planned destination of Japan. Columbus was trying to get to India, not Japan. Why would Columbus care about Japan? I mean, Japan was discovered by that point, but, like, seriously, why the fuck would he care to... Why would he want to go to Japan? When was... Wasn't it, like, the late 1400s? Yeah, 1492. Yeah. Because there's the rhyme, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Right, yeah, exactly. So yeah, 1492 was like Wait, no, that was pre-Portuguese, wasn't it? Had Japan been discovered by the Portuguese? When did the Portuguese land in Japan? It would have been Portugal, right? When did Portugal find Japan? 1543. Y'all, I don't think Columbus knew. I said Japan was like discovered, and I mean it was obvious, like China and Korea and all that shit. But I don't think. But I don't think Columbus had ever heard of Japan, let alone tried to fucking sail for it. Okay, moving on from the historical inaccuracy. Why change it to Japan? Why change it to Japan? Who makes a historical anime and then changes the fucking destination? Ginga Iu Densetsu Gaiden Ogan Tsubasa Legend of the Galactic Heroes Golden Wings. The Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance have been locked in a seemingly endless war for more than a century and a half. In the Empire, young Siegfried Kirchis, is this like a prequel? Meets Reinhard von Musel and his older sister Anna Rose. Kirchis enjoys a happy friendship with the two beautiful blonde-haired siblings until the day their alcoholic father, a lesser nobleman with low standing, accepts a request for Anna Rose to be sold as a concubine to the Kaisar. Although enraged, Reinhard is powerless to stop the whims of the imperial court. He and his father soon move away, leaving Kirchis behind. A few years later, Reinhard returns to the military uniform and declares his intent to raise through the ranks and free his sister from sexual servitude. Kirchis joins Reinhard on this daring journey to save Anna Rose, yearning to forever stay by the side of his friends. This is Chibi Maruko-chan Watashi no Sukina wa Uta, which I feel like I've heard of. I've probably heard of Chibi no Maruko-chan. Anyway, Sakura Momoko's teacher assigns third grade to draw an image based on their favorite song to enter a contest. That sounds hard. Momoka loves a song she recently listened during her music class and is anxious to make a good drawing based on it. On her way to meet her relative, Shizuoka, she meets Shoko Kimura, a university student who occasionally draws portraits at the local train station and plans to participate in an art contest. Fascinated by illustrations, Sakura meets Kimura once again. She is enchanted by Momoko's sympathy and honesty. They quickly become friends and end up inspiring each other in their own way. That sounds cute. This is Oshinbo Kyokyoku Tai Shiko Choju Ryori Taiketsu. Ultimate Menu and Supreme Menu square off in a cooking battle about dishes that promote longevity. For Supreme Kaibara Yuzan and Ultimate Yamaoka Shiro, whose father and son. This confrontation is more than strictly business. It's personal. Alright, let's see. We have Shochan Sora wo Tobu, an anime version of Aiki Makina's horror novel of the same name. This is a horror? It aired at the same time as the live-action adaptation. I would not have guessed horror. Alright, specials. Fatal Fury, Legend of the Hungry Wolf. Fatal Fury is like a fighting game, isn't it? Yes, it is. Jeff Bogard was a master of the Hakkyoku Seiken martial arts school and guardian of its secret techniques. Covering this knowledge, Geese Howard, the most powerful man in Southtown, challenged and murdered him in front of his adoptive sons, Terry and Andy Bogard. Under the guidance of their mentor, Tong Fei Ru, the brothers dedicate their lives to training the ultimate art to avenge their father. Can you tell I've never played Fatal Fury? 10 years later, Geese promotes a martial arts tournament known as the King of Fighters. Terry and Andy join their Muay Thai champion Joe Higashi and enter the competition in order to finally face Geese in combat. We have Nendaro. I accidentally created 2 copies. A short TV advertising spot or a small green pig with enormous eyes. The title Nendaro implies that even its creators didn't really know what kind of creature it was supposed to be. However, NTV, Nihon TV, chose it as their station's mascot. I love the fact that it's like, oh, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Interesting. One of the few Miyazaki things I haven't watched. Waru Salesman Special Program. Wait. 92. Okay, yeah, so. A special program of Waru Salesman. These episodes were released in blast format in 3 days in nearly 2-hour long time slot each. The individual episodes have their own EPs. The first blast release differed from the main series by having live-action footage of real locations in Japan before delving into the story of each episode. The second had Moguro, with the master interacting with the viewer as if behind the scenes for a studio before delving into each episode. And the third had Moguro and the master playing outside in the snow as if reporting on an on-location event to the viewer before delving into each episode. Crayon Shinchan specials. 87 Crayon Shinchan TV specials exist as of August 6th, 2022. I have seen none of these, actually. And finally, the last one is Yokai Ningen Ben Part 2. For 1982, a 26-episode TV series sequel to Yokai Ningen Ben was planned. Because the original producers disbanded, the animation was done by Topcraft. 2 episodes were created, and the project was shut down without airing on television. The episodes were released to the public on an LD box set. A decade later, 2,000 units were printed, and all were sold out. So, I probably couldn't watch this if I wanted to. And I don't. But I probably couldn't if I wanted to. All right, and that brings us to the far future of 1993, which apparently has when art started looking appealing. Because we have Tyler and we have Miracle Girls. Tyler I've heard about. The Miracle Girls just looks cute. So anyway, we're done. We're fucking done. We are so fucking done. We have concluded our business with this stream. I hope you had a good time. That only took 2 hours. But my voice is starting to go. We might... I hope we don't have to start splitting years in half while we're still in the 90s. Hopefully that's not a thing. But anyway, we did it. We finished. I hope you had a good time. I did. We learned about some fun anime. We didn't super add a lot from 1991. It seemed like kind of a dead year, but that's okay. I think we only added like 5 or 6 things. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah. Check out next Friday or Saturday or Sunday, sometime in the weekend, for the new game we're starting up. Even though we already started it up, which is Digimon World Next Order. Which is so fucking bad that I'm just going to rush through it as fast as I fucking possibly can. I have no interest to keep playing this game after the horrible experience last time. But I got paid my points for it, so we're doing it anyway. Anyway, yeah, see you then. Digimon, I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope. This has been the worst show I make. See you next time. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, I just want to say Streamlabs says gear up for Modern Warfare 3. Like, no thank you?